Hello, Mr. Mitra. So I have your art business documents open here. Let's see the first two files. So you have the image one. Okay, so you have kind of explained each of the image with one line. What you can do is you can combine these two, and there is a tool which says. With which you can create table, right? So I'll show you one example here. So I can insert a table, a simple table. So I'm using Mac. I'm not sure which system you have, and then you can actually drag and drop your image to one. Okay. Image one, and then you can have the image here and explanation here, and white medium, title, size, and other details in the fourth column. So this way you can actually organize your list, so that when a viewer sees the image, it has all the information regarding the painting on the side. The artist doesn't need to open the two documents together. So I hope that is clear. I see you did some beautiful paintings out here, so great job on that. And I'll now comment on the other document that you have submitted. So we'll close these two. Fine. So let's do the. So first is, what are the 10 most important elements of your artwork? Idea and thought, it's most important thing. Okay, rough plan, layout of the composition, base material, medium, technique. Okay, base preparation. Okay, fine. So this explanation was good. Where does your work fit in the contemporary art field? So you say I still have to find out. It is more on what kind of painter you are. So for me, you are a realistic or figurative painter. So your work fits into the figurative market or figurative art world. That is what I feel, because you don't have any experience for abstract till date. That's why we will consider you as figurative. So in figurative work, landscapes, still lives, figures, portraits, everything is included. If you could have a conversation and studio visit, okay, so a good choice, and it's good that you are learning about different artists, and I'll also have a look. I know a few of them, but great to know the living artists and non-living, so the dead artists. So it's great to read your interest here. What are your ideas and ideologies? How do they fit into your artwork? Okay, so here you feel that your ideologies fit into landscape, because then you can show the warmness of the nature, yes, simplicity, calmness. So that is great. As you are now enrolled for landscape, I would suggest spending more time on that, and definitely you will love the landscape classes. What are your artistic strength and weakness? So weakness is self-critical, lack of patience, can't work on a single thing for very long. Okay. Okay, focus on colors. Yes, I agree. Your colors are really good. The weakness, I would not exactly say this is the weakness. Some people do, like for example, myself, I also can't spend a lot of time working on same painting. So this, I don't consider it my weakness. What I did was I take quick decisions, and I don't want a very finished look painting. So my main aim for painting is to finish it fast, to work on better and wet, or to work on with Alapima technique. And when you are working with Alapima technique, you don't have much time to finish off your painting. So if that is something which you feel that you have inside you, you cannot spend more time. So just decide how much time you can spend and try to complete the work within that time frame. So it will be more of aggressive painting, where you need to take quick decisions and you need to be really good with your brush work, and but the end result can be a very bold painting. So usually very fine and detailed work takes a long time to do. But for example, some of the artists that Georges Seurat, so you can see his work. His work is very bold. It is not that he has spent a lot of time, rendering each and every part. It was more on decision making and figuring out the shape and applying the exact value in one stroke. So that is what you can do. You need to train yourself for that. So your weakness will become your strength. How do you okay, fine. Good attitude. If you like them, you keep. Else, you don't follow. That's completely fine. Have you ever thought of trying the new ideas? So, in case somebody suggests you something and you don't feel like you are not confident about it. So I would suggest trying it once, and then even if you don't like it, you can forget it. Yeah, like above I was saying, you need to decide a particular time frames. Today I'm going to paint this painting in 20 minutes or like 2 hours, and I'll spend 20 minutes on each element. So you need to, that is something that you need to decide, and don't just sit doing your artwork for long hours, because we need to take break in between. Break is very essential to judge your mistakes, to judge your artwork, to judge your color scheme, perspective, everything. So I would suggest paint for 20 minutes, take a break of 10 minutes, and then come back and then paint for 20 minutes. And don't paint for very long intervals until unless you are really in good mood and with full of energy, because that is when most of the artists spoil their painting, when they do long hours of painting. So set your time, set your breaks, and do take breaks in between. So good that now your goal has moved from just learning art to displaying your art in exhibitions and have recognition as an artist. I'm really glad that you are thinking that way, and you must start preparing for once you are done with abstract and landscape, maybe we'll talk about that more. So concept, I went through this document, so I'll just talk about the questions that you were not clear about. So how do you categorize your work? Political, social statement, natural abstraction, contemporary realism, etc. So it is basically because you're still learning. There are you haven't explored the political, social statement or natural abstraction. We were working in contemporary and realistic work so far. So these are different terms. Some artists, they work work on political issues of their country or their city or the location they live in. I sometimes share certain videos on our WhatsApp group, also on and I think I did a message also on two artists who were working for the social life or the society they work in through their art. Then some people, they work in an expressive way where they are not concerned about any element or thing. They just want to express something. Either they listen to music and then they paint accordingly, or when they are letting their emotions out through colors and all that. Some people, they paint realistic work, very tight and finished work using photo references. Then it also depends what kind of photo references they are picking. If you are planning to be a still life painter, then your arrangement of still life would be in a certain way. If you want to be a figurative painter, then what kind of figures you paint, who are the personalities you paint, and etc. So in today's news, if you hear this video today on NDTV or CNN, if you just check for the news related to Bill Gates, he got one of his painting commissioned by a portrait painting artist, and it's quite interesting. So that will help you understand how an artist work. And the artist, he painted many great portraits. So just look for the news, and then we'll discuss more about it. Why have you chosen to work in this medium? So medium, here we are talking about the canvas and all colors and acrylic. Yeah, you paint realistic so far. So what the question number one, what format and scale do you use and why? So here the question was that your format is you work on canvas, you are a photographer, or you are an abstract artist, installation artist, or scale is the size of your canvas. Does it vary every time? Do you work on the same size? Do you work on bigger size? Do you work on small size? That is what you need to answer here. Okay. If you are, what meanings are applied by your use of form or composition? Like if you are trying to achieve some kind, these are certain points that you think about, when you are painting portraits and you have placed the person seen right in front of you. So why you have chosen such kind of composition? Why not a side face or profile face? So these are some points that a gallery might ask you when you will submit your portfolios and all that. So that is what we want you to think about your art. I think it's pretty early for now because you're still learning, but these are certain points that you must think about when you paint, because you know them already. So what do you use for contrast? So for now we are just using values and bigger shapes and versus small shapes. Even we are using color variation that we used in still life. In abstract and landscape, you'll learn about the texture. Yes, we have used a light source. That's correct. Okay, so this is a very interesting question here. If you are using a certain art supply, then why you are using oil and acrylics only? Why not watercolors? There should be some kind of story either you can say I feel more comfortable, I have freedom of expression when I use oil colors, I don't have the same freedom of expression when I'm using watercolor. So these are some certain explanations that you need to give to the buyer or the art gallery or the dealer people when you submit your portfolio. So I think you pretty well answered most of the questions were good based on what you have learned so far. What you can do is, once you are done with abstract and landscape, just go through these questions again and answer them in every 6 months. This is what I do, because sometimes my supplies changes, sometimes I come up with some idea and then I add it with my concept. So there are things which are changing, and answering these questions really help you to discover where you stand, how much do you know about your art. Can you explain every stroke? Can you explain every color? Can you explain every form that your art is taking? So I think you did a good job. And the next in this video I'll explain the next topic. So it is artist presentation part 2. Here is a small example of how an artist explained her work, how she related the story. So just watch them. You can watch many more on Art21, and the assignment is to answer these questions, and these are the long answers, and these are the one-liners, and a great website is Art21. Just go to the website and just discuss any one artist of your choice.